Making these guesses off of like the content you're watching or your searches, there is so much wiggle room for error. Because like, let's say you watch an anime, trailer or something. I imagine YouTube would probably put that into like a cartoon bin, which would then be falling under like a under 18 bin, which would be a strike against you. What if you like misspell something in the searches? Like what if you accidentally make a typo? Does that make them think that you might be a kid as well? Or what about something like autoplay? Like let's say you put on like a real adult video, you look at fucking day trading tutorials, but it autoplays to something else, which is like making slime or some shit, because YouTube's recommended algorithm is fucking wild. Like you could easily just be flagged as an under 18 account, and then, well, if you want to keep using your account and have access to all the content and features that you've been used to, you're gonna need to fork over that ID, or at least show us your face. Give us some of that sweet, sweet biometric data currency, please. And I hope you'll say no. That is not something you should ever be comfortable with giving any company. It is a big problem, and there needs to be something done about this. It is truly out of control now, and it's here coming to YouTube. So, yep, just another concerning act of censorship and surveillance here, and it's not just overseas anymore. That's really about it. See ya. I just saw an outrageous body cam that I have got to shoot spitballs at and make fun of. It's an officer performing a traffic stop and then conducting the stupidest investigation I have ever seen, and he does it all unapologetically with full confidence. It's actually shocking. You couldn't script a bigger buffoon than this guy. It's like if you played LA Noire and just chose all of the wrong options on purpose. He does that accidentally with his questioning. It's like Steve Martin in Pink Panther when he played Inspector Clouseau. But unlike Inspector Clouseau, this guy doesn't stumble into getting anything right. He doesn't even accidentally go down anything sensible for his investigation.
I was at my house, I got some lunch, and then I'm heading back to my house.
Oh, where'd you get lunch?
Burger
Do you have your license on? Go and get breakfast. It's 12:50 in the afternoon. So you came all the way down to Haledon to get some breakfast?
That's the closest Burger King.
So when he's first talking to the guy, he mentions that he went to get lunch at Burger King. When the officer goes back to his car, his curiosity is piqued. He is getting very suspicious because he thinks the guy said that he went to get breakfast. And he's like, well, it's a little late in the day for breakfast. 12:50? You're getting breakfast? He's lying to me for some reason. What's he hiding? Even though he never said breakfast, he said lunch. The officer himself in the first interaction even repeats lunch back to the guy.
I was at my house, I got some lunch, and then I'm heading back to my house.
Oh, where'd you get lunch?
Burger
He literally asks, where'd you get lunch? But by the time he walks back to his patrol car, he's like neuralized himself like the Men in Black or something and rewrote that memory with the word breakfast in his noodle. So now all of a sudden he thinks that this guy is lying to try and cover something up, and he's about to blow this way out of proportion and make a big deal about it for nothing, making him go through like this whole song and dance interrogation, all over him misremembering the word he said. Like, he didn't even mishear it, by the way. He literally, like, heard lunch, repeated lunch, but then forgot that when he got back to the car and made something up in his mind.
Would you DoorDash it or something?
No, I picked it up.
Oh, you went to the drive-thru?
Yeah.
Who's like, you said that question? Went down and went to the drive-thru. I saw you go down. You came back pretty quickly. So you were able to get down to the drive-thru that fast?
Yeah, there's no one in the line.
Gotcha. Is there anything, any kind of narcotics or anything in the vehicle? You said you went down and picked up breakfast. It's 12.
Not breakfast, lunch.
You said breakfast to me.
I was at my house, I got some lunch, and then I'm heading back to my house. Gotta say breakfast, get lunch. It's a burger.
This officer really thinks he's fucking L from Death Note here or something. This line of questioning is already baffling. Oh, so you came back pretty quick. You were able to get your Burger King that easily? What about all 10,000 people that were lining up to get Burger King today? Today's National Burger King Day. How'd you get through the line that quickly, huh, Buster? Huh? It's fucking Burger King, man. Of course there's not going to really be a long line. No one's really going to Burger King. Like, he was probably the first customer of the day at 12:50. What is he even thinking is happening? Like, what does he think he's cooking with this questioning? It's going nowhere. He didn't lie to the officer or anything. He didn't even use the wrong nomenclature for his meal. He said lunch. Like, he didn't do anything that should even be arousing suspicion in the first place. But now this officer, like, he's smelling blood in the water. He thinks he's onto, like, a big break here. He's gonna find fucking 2,000 pounds worth of cocaine and fent buried somewhere in the back seat of his cushions, you know, on the headrest or something. Like, it's so wacky. And he doesn't let it go. He keeps pressing it like there's really something deep here. Why did you tell me breakfast? He's now just gaslighting this guy, saying, you told me breakfast. And the guy's like, oh, I didn't think I did. Like, I didn't mean to. I meant lunch. If I told you breakfast, I meant lunch. Sorry. Like, it's a pretty small mistake to make, even if that was the mistake that was made. Which it wasn't. There wasn't even a mistake made there in the first place. But even if there was, it's just so trivial.
I mean, a burger can be a breakfast food.
It's 12:50.
Okay, so I meant lunch.
Okay, so you had 2 eggs for breakfast, but you said that you had low blood sugar from not eating.
Yeah, it's not a lot of food.
It takes a long time of not eating to get low blood sugar.
I don't know what to tell you.
You can see that the guy is getting annoyed here. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, man, because now all of a sudden the officer is cosplaying as a nutritionist. Like, you mentioned you had low blood sugar. Yet, contradictory to what you said earlier, where you mentioned you had 2 eggs for breakfast. You know it takes a long time of not eating to have low blood sugar, don't you? Is there something you want to tell me? Huh? You scum? You heinous, vile creature, you, lying about breakfast when it is clearly lunchtime? Didn't realize this cop also watched Grey's Anatomy, so now all of a sudden he's an expert on medical diagnoses. Brother, you don't know his medical history. He could very easily have conditions that could lead to, like, low blood sugar and shit. Like, there's just so many things. You couldn't possibly make an accurate assumption on that at all, and you shouldn't even be trying. Like, Jesus, man, 2 eggs is not a big breakfast. He probably got hungry again at 12:50. Like, it's super normal. 2 eggs is like 150 calories depending on the size of the egg. I'm assuming a hard-boiled egg. Like, maybe he had 2 scrambled eggs. Even still, it's not a huge meal. He probably had a rumbly tummy and then went to Burger King. There's nothing suspicious about anything this guy has said in regards to getting lunch after eating a small breakfast. I don't know why we are pressing this so hard. If anything, you might as well just question why he went to Burger King. That's like the only somewhat suspicious decision here. Why the fuck would you go to Burger King over any other fast food restaurant? Like, maybe that's the question he should be asking the guy.
But do you see why, like, it's
Honestly,
not,
no, I don't.
it's just not adding up to me.
That I went to get lunch, and I'm driving back.
No, you told me you went to get breakfast. It's 12:50 in the afternoon.
I meant lunch.
Okay, if there's nothing going on, you'll be on your way.
I know, I'm pretty confident that's going to be the case. They wanted me to get out of the car because I said breakfast instead of lunch, and you said my hand was shaking.
You can open request the body cam footage, sir.
I'm so glad we have this body camera footage here to capture this beautiful moment. The officer really thinks he has nailed this guy dead to rights, and he is on the cusp of something huge. He thinks he's in like some kind of fucking AMC production here where he's gonna find the blue meth in this guy's car, all because the criminal mastermind slipped up and said breakfast instead of lunch, even though that didn't even happen, by the way. Oh my god, it's absolute fucking cinema.
You should know what's going on in the motor vehicle stop by this time.
Okay, I think I just summed it up. So it sounds
Well, you skipped a lot on your recording. You're missing a lot of information.
All right, so tell me what I said.
You're not going to narrate what's going on here.
Right, then
Okay, I have a body camera that's going to do that for everyone. I don't know what time or how long the canine's going to take. So you're right. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Okay? I'm just going to give you the summons for improper signal, and we're going to be on our way.
So it seems like it was an improper signal which led to this traffic stop and this investigation into the Schrodinger's breakfast meal at Burger King. I think what probably happened here, it's not on body cam, but if I had to take a guess, I think one of his other officers there was like, look man, we're not gonna get the canine out here for this. This is a crazy reach that you're working with right now. Like, I think just maybe send him on his way with the improper signal summons and like call it there. Like, this is kind of dumb. And then the officer's like, okay, well listen here, bud. I know you haven't been truthful with me, that things aren't adding up, but not gonna waste any more time here. And then just ends it like that. The guy started recording from his end and gave like the lore breakdown. And he didn't skip anything from what I can see here. The officer's like, no, you're missing crucial context. Information is absent. You're trying to spin a far-fetched fictional narrative. That's not what happened here at all. This body cam will explain everything. And trust me, it did. Holy shit. What a stupid idea. Like, I don't know, I literally cannot wrap my head around what he thought was going to happen with this line of questioning. Like, I think maybe in his, like, fanfic that he was cooking up in his brain, he would, like, press him on the breakfast statement, which, again, wasn't even made in the first place, but he would press him on the breakfast statement, and then all of a sudden the guy would break down and be like, oh my god, you're right, you're fucking right, there's so many drugs in the car, man, oh my god, I can't believe it, you did it, you were right, oh my god, you're so smart. Like, I actually just, I can't imagine what he thought would happen by making a huge hoopla out of something that wasn't even said. I just had to talk about this. It was so good. I'm glad that this guy didn't, suffer more of a headache and more of a nuisance with this officer's questioning. I'm glad that at least they did send him on his way and didn't, make it go even more out of control. But man, what a fucking waste of everyone's time this was. That's really about it. So yeah.
Papa John Schnatter was once the trusted, smiling face of a multi-billion-dollar pizza empire, but one leaked phone call of him using a racial slur destroyed his company and reputation forever, and his response to the backlash could not have been worse, claiming that he spent nearly 2 years in a sort of racist rehab to stop himself from saying the slur.
And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else.
And although this could be one of the worst ways to address a controversy in history, and there is no excuse for using a slur, John constantly tried to convince the world that this was all a calculated setup by people who wanted him exiled from his company. And when you hear the full story, he might not seem that crazy. There are even a small number of OG Papa John's fans who think he is innocent and are campaigning to reinstate him as CEO. One thing everyone agrees on is that the pizza quality was much better when he was still in charge, because today they have seemingly abandoned their promise to make better pizza with better ingredients. Today we are going to assess the crash and burn of John Schnatter's career and reputation to determine if it was all a calculated setup. John Schnatter quickly developed a reputation for being a ruthless, no-nonsense businessman, but to compete with giants like Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Little Caesars, you aren't necessarily going to thrive by being a nice guy. Ironically, his persona to the public was the happy-go-lucky, trustworthy spokesman for the company, which created a difficult-to-manage dynamic between who he actually was and who the public thought he was. John proved his entrepreneurial skills when he saved his father's business from going bankrupt. Mix Lounge in Jeffersonville, Indiana was a local tavern that was desperately in need of a new business strategy in the early 80s, so John took over.
We cleaned the pool tables up, we cleaned the food up, we put handsome bartenders behind the bar. We had a euchre tournament on Thursday, we had a little King's Night on Tuesday, we had a pool tournament on Sunday. Just from the promotion to the food to, we were doing like $2,000 a week. And within 3 months, we were doing $10,000 a week and doing $1,000 a week in pool table revenue.
And while John has said that fixing the bar was a dream, he actually hated the idea of running bars for a career. I didn't like the bar business. I didn't like all the fights, all the cussing, the drinking, but I loved running the business. John's real obsession was pizza. He fell in love with it while working as a dishwasher at a local restaurant called Rocky's Sub Pub.
And I was washing dishes at Rocky's, and I hated washing dishes. And so you weren't allowed to make pizzas unless you were a Fondrisi, Joe John or Frank Fondrisi. So they got a good write-up in the scene. The thing took off. And sure enough, I got promoted from washing dishes to making pizzas, and that's when I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Schnatter brought his father's bar back from the dead, paid off the $60,000 in debts, and started making pizzas in a broom closet to sell to the customers. The customers loved the pizza, and the demand got so high that John purchased the shop directly next door and established the very first Papa John's location. John was a 21-year-old dreamer who was willing to work until he could no longer stand. He was always thinking of ways to make a better product as fast fast as possible for the best price. Like when he upgraded from Baker's Pride ovens that could make him $1,000 in a day to conveyor ovens that could make him $1,000 per hour without breaking a sweat. Once the first Papa John's location was earning $9,000 per week in revenue, John's confidence turned into what he even admits was borderline delusion.
I'm all pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. We go down to Domino's, which is about 3 miles down the road in Grants Plaza. I walk in there. I'm 22 years old.
Sure.
We're doing 9,000.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing a week? He said, we're doing 6,000 a week. And I just basically looked at the guy and I said, we're going to kick your ass in the whole world.
You
Now,
said that.
Basically.
22 years old.
How I thought with one store, because we were whooping them in Jefferson, Indiana, we were going to beat them. But I thought that way, which is crazy.
John strategically stole the best parts of other great pizza chains to make Papa John's the best of them all. He liked the cheese from Mr. Gatti's Pizza. He liked the sweetness of the Greek's Pizzeria sauce, as well as how they fulfilled a large volume of orders. He studied a local bakery to learn how to get his crust perfect. And he was even an employee at Domino's to learn how to optimize the process from order to kitchen assembly line and then out the door. It was this obsessive need to make the best product possible, along with a cutthroat business attitude, that allowed him to scale from one store to 5 to 10 to hundreds of locations.
I think resilience and persistency beats genius and intellect every time. Let's say you want to be a dentist. Sooner or later, there's going to be a dentist that was a dentist before you were a dentist that has made it. Well, human nature, then they start playing their golf. Then they start having their poker game on Tuesday night. Then they start closing alphas on Friday. And what it does, it gives a young entrepreneur like you that's a striving dentist that wants to be like the other dentist, it gives you that incentive. Sooner or later, if you outwork them, you're going to take advantage of the guy on the golf course. And they all get fat and happy. And so I call it soft. The concept of sitting on the couch, eating Doritos, watching TV, or drinking beer or Cokes, what a waste of life.
Maybe the big three pizza franchises doubted that Papa John's could become a real threat, and he was comfortable with being the underdog. However, in 1993, everything changed. Papa John's became a publicly traded company, and after their IPO, they generated $25 million in investment capital, which was plenty of money to open thousands of locations across the United States. This is where the real takeover began. Unlike competitors who used mascots or attractive logos to promote the brand, John made himself the official spokesperson of Papa John's. He came off as humble, hardworking, and honest.
He commissioned independent taste tests. Papa John's won big time. Maybe that's because our sauce is made with fresh-packed, vine-ripened tomatoes. Pizza Hut uses remanufactured paste.
Anybody can claim to make a better pizza, but it's you, the consumer, who've decided.
The advertisements just kind of plainly said, we're better because people think we are better. It's that simple. But Pizza Hut was not happy with these comparisons. They sued Papa John's, but ultimately lost in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, which ruled that the slogan was puffery. The court said Papa John's claims weren't literally false, and thus didn't violate advertising laws. But how much validity was there to the better ingredients slogan?
What really makes the ingredients from Papa John's better than those of the competitors? How do you really have better ingredients that make better pizza?
I think you say it this way: better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Another good question. You can't make a soap purse out of a sow's ear. The reason our ingredients are better is because they cost more. And the reason they cost more is because they're real.
Well, it is true that none of the ingredients used were frozen, and every single pizza was made practically from scratch. Employees do everything in the store besides making the dough. The dough was hand-stretched and formed for each order. None of the produce or chicken products on a Papa John's pizza is older than 7 days in the store, all of which is kept in a 36-degree cooler. Pork and beef products spend no more than 12 days in the same cooler. So yes, you could call the pizza fresh, but that still doesn't exactly clarify the quality of the ingredients. But Papa John's strategically keeps that a secret. You see, if you look on their website, you will see a simplified version of their ingredients they believe sound clean or natural. In the US, food manufacturers can legally omit certain additives if they are considered processing aids or present in trace amounts. That means Papa John's could have tons of sub-ingredients like anti-caking agents, emulsifiers, stabilizers, or preservatives that that they don't legally have to disclose. Melanie Warner of US News tried to investigate what makes their ingredients better. When I called Papa John's customer toll-free number, I was told that for additional information on allergen or nutritional info, I should leave a message with Connie Childs, who would return my call the next business day. I left 2 messages, but Connie never called. Public relations wasn't much help either. My emails and voicemails went unanswered. Ironically, most people seem to agree that it isn't actually the pizza that got Papa John's famous. It's their garlic sauce that you dip the crust into, which was an original recipe created at the very first store. These days, it is made with a slew of additives, mono and diglycerides, partially hydrogenated soybean oil, and the preservatives sodium benzenate and calcium disodium EDTA. So just because Papa John's used better ingredients didn't mean it was even considered remotely healthy. But Americans didn't care. By 1999, Papa John's had scored a 76 on the American Customer Satisfaction Index, above countless other fast food giants. Their stock price was peaking around $8 per share, had over 2,300 locations, earned over $800 million in total revenue. By all means, Papa John's was here to stay, and John Schnatter was set for life. And even though John portrayed himself as the humble hard worker, there is no doubt he was enjoying his hundreds of millions. Schnatter moved the corporate office into a luxurious new headquarters in Louisville, Kentucky. He purchased a massive piece of land and built a castle on the outskirts of Louisville, complete with what literally looks like a city built underground.
So right now we're 1 story below ground level, and what you could see here, it looks like a little city. This is incredible with the windows, the door, but this is the garage. This is what's so remarkable about it. It kind of reminds me of the Forum shops at the Venetian with the painted ceilings, and the garage just keeps going down. I mean, what I would do for a garage like this.
Success gave John Schnatter power, and he wasn't shy about using it. He wasn't just the boss, he was the king, and he admits that he was extremely stubborn and stern with his power.
But I'm literally like, it's my way or the highway. If you didn't do it my way, you know, I was bad. It was a benevolent dictator with an attitude.
And although John's leadership and tenacity made for groundbreaking advancements in the company, such as being the first pizza company to accept online orders in 2001, ultimately his inability to do anything other than his way led to a steady decline in the business. After profits dropped 3 years in a row, the board decided it was time for John to step down. In 2005, they replaced him with Nigel Travis, former COO of Blockbuster. But Nigel only lasted 3 years as the head of Papa John's, and Schnatter stepped back into the CEO position almost immediately. Interestingly enough, in the press release announcing Nigel's departure, they wrote, "We are pleased that John has once again agreed to lead the company, albeit on an interim basis, until we can identify a permanent replacement." It's interesting that the company seemed to want to move on from John's leadership, but why? This is the guy who built and led the company to be worth over $1 billion. Is he not the most suitable man for the CEO position? Why did they want to replace him so badly? Because to the public, John seemed to be more in love with the company than ever. He remained the spokesperson of the company, appearing in TV commercials, advertising stunts like completing the world's highest pizza delivery in history at the top of the Sears Tower.
You say John! Papa John! Papa John!
And even throwing half-court shots in front of a sold-out Kentucky basketball stadium. This guy did so many commercials, you would think he might actually show up to your house and personally deliver you a pizza when you ordered from your local Papa John's.
Pizza! We got pizza! I'm John with Papa John.
Hey, Papa's in the house.
How about some Papa John pizza?
And since the company was thriving due to his enthusiasm and the public's adoration for Papa, one wrong move could seriously damage everything. And as social media made it harder for any controversy to stay hidden, it was only a matter of time before we would find out why the leadership wanted him to step down years ago. That moment came in 2012 when John Schnatter criticized the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare. He claimed that if the law went into effect, Papa John's would be forced to raise the price of their pizza by 11 to 14 15 cents per pie just to cover employees' health care. On an earnings call with shareholders, John said, "We're not supportive of Obamacare, like most businesses in our industry. If Obamacare is in fact not repealed, we will find tactics to shallow out any Obamacare costs and core strategies to pass that cost onto consumers in order to protect our shareholders' best interests." Of course, Papa John didn't support free healthcare because if Americans actually had access to doctors, they might finally realize his pizza is what's sending them there in the first place. The multimillionaire CEO who built his empire off blue-collar workers came off as tone-deaf, especially when he casually mentioned that franchise owners should just cut workers' hours instead of giving them health care. The controversy exploded into a massive news story.
Several people I spoke with said if it's going to cost them 3 extra cents to order a pizza so a Papa John's employee can have health insurance, they're fine with that. Others told me it's bad business.
Outrage sparked online. A viral Reddit post said, "There's plenty of places to get cheap pizza in the world. Anyone else ready to boycott Papa John's?" This was one of the first moments where the public began to see cracks in the Papa John persona, and what you will notice is that both of his next major controversies happened almost the exact same way. Keep in mind that his Obamacare comments were made during an earnings call in 2012. Earnings calls are often recorded and transcribed for transparency. These calls can be described as semi-private. They're not necessarily public-facing, but they're usually accessible to a wide range of people: investors, analysts, other employees. So if a CEO says something controversial during one of these calls, it only takes one person to share it with a journalist, blogger, or TV personality for the whole world to know about it. John couldn't help himself but let his personal politics bleed into the conversation. Obamacare was a deeply divisive topic at the time, and that's because any attempt to create a somewhat reasonable healthcare system in the US has been a massive hot button issue. Then again, most of the opposers are not regular hard-working people, but rather rich oligarchs who are ultimately the ones that will lose billions in profits because they have been taking advantage of citizens for decades. John clearly valued corporate profits over what many see as a fundamental human right, and it may have upset someone who was on the inside listening to that earnings call, because the way this information exploded into the press so quickly felt almost surgical, as if someone who was on the other end of that call wanted the world to hear exactly how out of touch John really was. And this wouldn't be the last time something he said in what he thought was a private setting would make headlines, because in 2016 his political comments about the NFL would cause even more public outrage. In 2016, racial tensions in the United States were reaching new all-time highs. Many communities were still processing the acquittal of George Zimmerman, who shot 17-year-old Trayvon Martin while on neighborhood watch. We started seeing more funding for police body cams to ensure safety for both officers and citizens, and the divide led to the establishment and worldwide visibility of the Black Lives Matter movement. Black Americans weren't just frustrated, they reached a boiling point for generations of injustice, and millions were tired of staying silent. One man who joined the protest was San Francisco 49ers starting quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who refused to stand for the pregame national anthem and instead chose to sit.
There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. This stand wasn't for me. This stand wasn't because I feel like I'm being put down in any kind of way. This is because I'm seeing things happen to people that don't have a voice.
The NFL issued a statement regarding the protest saying, quote, "Players are encouraged but not required to stand during the playing of the national anthem."
Right away, everyone was divided on the issue. Some felt that Colin was perfectly in line to do what he did. There's no law demanding that you have to stand for the national anthem. However, others felt that Kaepernick had gone too far. The national anthem is traditionally there before the big game to salute those who died to defend the homeland. And to some, this was interpreted as an insult to those who made that unimaginable sacrifice. But this wasn't just one game. It was an ongoing protest that lasted well over a year. Many players in the NFL followed Kaepernick's lead, opting to kneel as a more respectful form of protest. The conversation around the players kneeling seemingly amplified every week, with many conservative NFL fans saying that the political focus was ruining the game. But NFL chief Roger Goodell was supportive of his players' First Amendment right.
Are you proud of Colin Kaepernick for taking this stand?
Listen, I support our players speaking out on issues that they think need to be changed in our society. We don't live in a perfect society, Matt. Our players have strong views about things. So I support our players speaking out against that. But that's what the focus should be on, the changes he wants to see in our society.
Right, but are you proud or does it make you nervous when you see it?
Well, I think when our players speak out and they feel strongly and passionate about something, I think it's a good thing for us.
But once again, Papa John Schnatter felt that politics were messing up his profits. And on yet another earnings call, John blamed the NFL's handling of the protests for Papa John's stock price falling around 10% in 2017. It's important to know that Papa John's had become the official pizza sponsor of the NFL in 2010, a partnership that heavily benefited them from the league's massive national visibility. Papa John's secured national broadcast and marketing rights, and many of their stadiums sold their pizza. But to suggest that the NFL players' protests had any effect on Papa John's pizza seemed like a bold and bizarre take. He said, "NFL leadership has hurt Papa John's shareholders. This should have been nipped in the bud a year and a half ago. We're certainly disappointed that NFL and its leadership did not resolve the ongoing situation to the satisfaction of all parties this year and a half ago," he said in the earnings call. Good or bad, leadership starts at the top, and this is an example of poor leadership. Not only was John criticizing a powerful business partner in front of investors, but he also was aligning himself with a divisive political stance once again. His comments sparked backlash from multiple sides. Some thought he was unfairly blaming the NFL for his own incompetence as CEO. Some saw him as biting the hand that feeds him, as the NFL was massive exposure for the pizza chain. But ultimately, many saw him as extremely insincere, delusional, and possibly racist, unwilling to support Americans who are exercising their First Amendment right in solidarity for Black Americans. As you can imagine, the backlash for John's comments came in full force. The controversy even led to white supremacist groups endorsing Papa John's as the official pizza of the alt-right, a title the company quickly and publicly disavowed. But still, the damage was done. 12 days later, after the company's stock had dropped 12%, they took to Twitter to try to stop the bleeding. The statements made on our earnings call were describing the factors that impact our business, and we sincerely apologize to anyone that thought they were divisive. That definitely was not our intention. We believe in the right to protest inequality and support the players' movement to create a new platform for change. We also believe, as Americans, we should honor our anthem. There is a way to do both. This wasn't really much of an apology, but rather just a statement of things that we already knew. Once again, John's inability to keep his personal politics out of his professional life cost him and the company big. 1 month later, Schnatter resigned as CEO, but stayed on as chairman. Weeks later, a mutual agreement was met to terminate Papa John's as the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. They would be replaced with Pizza Hut. The company was going downhill fast, but still with a chairman's seat, John Schnatter still had power. But he would, for the third time, say something on a conference call that would officially destroy his reputation forever. After John's fight with the NFL, earnings were down by almost 50%. Brandon Roten, chief of marketing, felt it would be wise to reduce Schnatter's presence in TV advertisements, as well as reduce John's association with the company overall, since he was the sole reason Papa John's was ever in any controversy. It seemed like the company was looking to make John invisible, and he just couldn't handle the idea of being sidelined when he was responsible for all of Papa John's success. After months of arguments with his internal team, his executives sought a compromise to try to make everyone happy. In order to get things under control, the board made an agreement that John could stay on as chairman and still be the face of the company under one condition: if he accepted coaching from a PR firm called Oslin & Gage, operating under the ad agency Laundry Service. Papa John's hired Laundry Service for a new advertisement strategy, and Laundry Service brought in their PR team Oslin & Gage to specifically coach Schnatter on how not to destroy the brand any further, and the goal was to train him in modern media etiquette and contain his public outbursts, and ultimately leave his personal opinions on politics out of the pizza business. But during one of those training sessions between Laundry Service and John, he said something so reprehensible that the PR firm decided they did not want to help him anymore. On July 11th, 2018, Forbes published a headline that spread like wildfire. Papa John's founder used N-word on conference call, and the clip of the conference call was released.
What bothers me is Colonel Sanders called blacks niggers. I'm like, I've never used that word. And they get away with it.
This was now the third leaked phone call that made headlines. On the call, John and the PR firm were discussing his response to the NFL controversy. His suggestion that Colonel Sanders used to say the slur came off as deflective to his own offensive behavior. Sanders' grandson, Trig Adams, responded to John's comments saying, "He's a weasel. Because he's prejudiced, he's trying to say somebody else was too." Sanders had absolutely no prejudice against anybody. There were a few people that initially tried to defend John, saying that his use of the word was actually him calling out racism, which, even if it was, this was a terrible way to express it. Him claiming that he never used the N-word in the same breath that he just let the slur roll off his tongue seemed delusional. And in the same day news broke that John said the slur, he resigned from the Louisville University board. The Cardinals Stadium announced they would be removing the name Papa John's Stadium. The MLB cut all ties with the pizza chain, and Schnatter resigned as chairman of Papa John's. This was the official nail in the coffin for John's career and reputation. He issued an apology that nobody took seriously. News reports attributing the use of inappropriate and hurtful language to me during a media training session regarding race are true. Regardless of the context, I apologize. Simply stated, racism has no place in our society. But John didn't believe what he said in that apology. He actually did seriously believe that the context of this conversation was extremely important, and if the general public knew, they would believe he got set up. And honestly, the details do look a little suspicious. You also have to consider that just 8 days after Forbes published the racial slur controversy article, they released another article called The Inside Story of Papa John's Toxic Culture, which portrayed John as a controlling, vindictive leader who created a culture of fear and intimidation within the company. The article included anonymous accounts from former employees describing verbal abuse, sexual assault, and reinforcing that John wasn't just careless with his words, but toxic at his core. The details of both of these articles would require months of energy and effort to produce, so there is no doubt that Forbes choosing to release these articles within a week of each other was calculated. I want you to take note of the little details in this article that most people skip over, and that is all of the anonymous sources and them making claims that are almost immediately refuted. The article claims that John surrounded himself with loyalists by hiring his high school friend Tim O'Hearn as a powerful executive and his longtime associate Steve Ritchie as CEO, which created a bro culture at the top. Papa John's has effectively been a public company operated like it is privately owned. A veteran employee says, "Nothing is happening there unless John wants it to happen." They also go on to say that female employees were mocked and asked if they were menstruating. Male executives made references to gangbangs and comments about whether women wanted to jump on the train. Schnatter disputed most of this story. Papa John's did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Ritchie, for his part, did not respond to a request for comment, and O'Hearn contested portions of the story. The language here is key. Disputed most of the story, contested portions of the story. This allows Forbes to cover themselves legally while leaving the reader unaware of what is actually true or not. Like, here's a classic example of them trying to claim that John would cheat on his wife. One former executive says the married Schnatter would disappear for days on work trips, stirring suspicion that he was, quote, hooking up with girls. Schnatter denies this. So they make a random claim from an anonymous source, and then John denies it. So now it's up for you to decide if it's real. But in theory, they could make up anything with anonymous sources and just let John deny it. Ironically, they even tried to pit executives against him, but it didn't work. Schnatter remained chairman, but was relocated to offices 20 minutes away, where he fought for control, contesting everything the new CEO did, and forced board members to choose between him and his CEO. When Forbes asked Nigel Travis about it, he denied, stating, "Most of the time, John and I had a very cordial relationship." Here's another example. Over time, Schnatter started to visit the main campus more often to learn what was going on. He allegedly recruited Papa John's employees to spy on their colleagues. He read workers' emails, according to 2 sources with knowledge of the episodes, and sometimes conducted business from disposable phones. Schnatter denies that he accessed emails or recruited employees to spy spy on each other. Every claim they make is immediately refuted. They even had an extreme lack of evidence hinting at alleged sexual misconduct in the workplace, but published it anyways. During the trip, there was an incident with a 24-year-old female Papa John's marketing employee that resulted in a second confidential settlement and the employee's swift departure. 3 sources tell Forbes they know of additional settlements between Schnatter and women involving inappropriate conduct, though details could not be confirmed by publication time. A female employee says that Schnatter asked about her bra size and whether she'd slept with her previous boss, and that he never let her pass in a hall without giving her a hug. He denies this. It's going to sound like I'm vehemently defending the guy, but this type of reporting does seem hard to take seriously, especially from a major publication like Forbes. So there was an incident with a confidential settlement, but the details couldn't be confirmed and John Schnatter denied. So we don't know what happened, why it happened, who it happened to, or how it was resolved. So why was that information published? The most interesting detail most people skipped over was no sources cited in this article approached us. All were contacted directly. So a 30-year-old multi-billion-dollar company with thousands of employees watched their CEO get into multiple major public controversies and allegedly had created a toxic workplace of fear, spying, and misconduct, and yet nobody approached the media to tell their story, but rather the media came to them looking for the inside scoop. And even still, at John's lowest moment, they couldn't get one person out of the hundreds of thousands of people that worked for Papa John's to publicly confirm any of their claims. But the general public did not focus on these details. To most people, John was a racist, a toxic ruler of a pizza empire, and possibly a assailant, which is why most people thought he absolutely lost his mind when he started publicly claiming that he was set up and that the day of reckoning will come, as he was now on a campaign to destroy the company he built for 30 years.
I would just say, stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight now? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
How soon will that happen?
Stay tuned. Sooner than later.
This is actually really sad. He looks like he's on the verge of a mental breakdown and a path to insanity, all because of a pizza. The general public just laughed him off. They didn't know all of the complicated nuances of the situation. Even animators like Meat Canyon couldn't help but spend hours recreating the painful interview.
The day will come. Judgment will be made. You will scream, but they will fall upon deaf ears. Cheese and bread will be the cornerstone of this utopian future. I will cover the world with my passion.
And every time John tried to defend himself, he just made it 10 times worse.
I mean, again, you have a public board that paints its chairman complicit, passive, or active. They paint the founder as a racist. They know he's not a racist. It's just unbelievable. And I used to lay in bed just going, how did they do this? And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else because it's just not true. Figure out how they did this and get on with my life.
John didn't realize how stupid he looked that he was claiming to be set up and falsely painted as a racist, and in the same breath saying that he had to spend 20 months removing a racial slur from his vocabulary. The ironic part about all of this is that the controversy started with Papa John's executives forcing him to do PR training, and every time he spoke to the media, it was clear that he still desperately needed more PR training. But it was now 2 years after the racial slur controversy, and he was hell-bent on convincing the world that the laundry service agency manipulated him into saying something racist. John also thought the best thing to do was release the full conversation he had with the agency, saying that the public deserved the full context. And I listened to the full, unedited, hour-long conversation, so here's the context. In May of 2018, a private conference call between John Schnatter and the laundry service appointed PR firm was recorded without John's consent. In this meeting, they were planning for John to go on a press run, which included an interview interview with Stephen A. Smith, as well as a few podcasters, so John could clarify his comments about the NFL kneeling situation and ultimately apologize. John wanted to do this because he found out that his franchisees' businesses were suffering due to the world thinking he was racist for criticizing the NFL players for kneeling. On this phone call, the laundry service representatives were essentially simulating an interview. They asked John to speak freely about how he actually felt about the NFL kneeling situation, and then they gave him feedback on his choices of words, guiding him on what to say, what not to say, and how he can still remain true to his values while not making himself and the company look worse.
The NFL situation is not good for anybody, in my opinion, and I would have said it differently, so that in a way, certainly not to defend anybody that's kneeling, but to not further inflame the situation which I despise, which is the division of the country. That's how I would say it. Is that gonna hurt you guys?
I don't think it will hurt us, but I do think, if possible, we need to come up with some way to say that I would have acknowledged how the reason that people were protesting being an important thing we have to fix in our society, something like that.
Yeah, I think you lead off with exactly how I said it in the meeting. I wouldn't change what I said, but I would change how I said it.
And then what I mean, I can say that. What do I mean by that? You tell me. Yeah, what I mean. How would I say it differently?
All we can just give him.
I think you would have given more explanation or called out exactly who you were targeting or call out exactly what you were referring to so that it didn't get misconstrued.
So you would say, listen, this has nothing to do with race. This is all about Goodell.
It's all about the NFL and the issues and how it impacts business and sponsors and things of that nature. It had absolutely nothing to do with race.
As you can hear, they are talking strategy. Say this, don't say this, say it like that, etc. Now they went back and forth talking in circles for 40 minutes, and it's for one very simple reason. John was not actually sorry for his comments. He didn't agree with the kneeling. He didn't agree with the NFL not putting a stop to it, and he still felt that the NFL hurt Papa John's sales. He literally thought and said in this conference call that the NFL players kneeling was destroying the NFL and all of the brands associated with it. So John going on this planned media tour to talk about this NFL controversy all over again was not to try to express an honest apology. It was to try to carefully manufacture a new response that would be more acceptable for the public while not feeling like he was actually going against his values.
Yeah, when I talked to Fred Smith, Peyton Manning, the Redskins, the Cowboys, I said, listen, you guys have got to lose. This is no good for anybody, any of us. And then to Steve's point, I said, we got to find, 8 or 9 leaders in the country that are level-headed, not going to fly off, that will sit down with the players and get them what they want. At the same time, not, destroy the league, destroy the players' future income, destroy sponsors, destroy the fan base, etc. So you might, I like Steve, that's the truth about it. Lose, win, team up. And the whole time I was trying to get this matter resolved. So you might run with that one because that is the way I talk. Yeah, because you're trying to provide a platform that has solutions for the players, solutions for the owners, and solutions for all the partners that are associated with the league. And that's what the NFL had created for years, and they had an interesting issue here. And what you want to do is try to help for all folks that have different issues they're just trying to solve for. And it was a problem that could be solved that unfortunately the leadership was not there. And as a leader of my own company, I want to try to help another leader solve the problem. I think everybody took notes, so why don't y'all compare notes, and then let's get through the next day or two and get it to where I'm comfortable talking to, he's going to ask a tough question. He's going to go, how do you feel about kneeling? And, we got to find a good way of saying, well, I understand what they're trying to do, but I'm not sure that's helping anybody's cause.
Now, the PR firm, which we would ultimately find out, just straight up thought he was wrong. Now, PR firms are supposed to remain unbiased. Since they were being paid by Papa John's, it's their job to handle the public relations without inserting their own personal feelings into John's response. In a way, it's kind of like a softer version of a defense attorney. Like, at the end of the day, someone does have to defend somebody who's committed reprehensible crimes. And the PR firm was trying as hard as they could to figure out a plan for John to reapproach the media without making things worse. But John just kept rambling and rambling, and the PR firm was getting frustrated. It would make their job easier if he just said, "I was wrong. I understand my comments came off as racist. I can assure you that is not who I am, but I've taken the necessary steps to educate myself, and I apologize to the NFL and the players who were peacefully protesting." But he didn't want to do that because he didn't believe that. And when you listen to the call, you can tell he was pissed off that he felt like he needed to censor himself because he thinks Papa John's does so much for the NFL. And at the very end of the call, he even questioned if he needed to clarify his words at all, essentially defeating the purpose of this entire hour-long meeting.
I mean, you all really think it's a big deal to rectify what's been said? I certainly think we need to change the narrative. That's out there. I agree. I just wouldn't wait 8 months after the fact. Yeah. That's what I would have done. Like, Jesus Christ, if you're me, you get pounded, and we give this NFL $40 million a year for the number one brand, and now all of a sudden we're dealing with this is crazy. So, anyway, we'll see. Up in New York, we made a decision. We're going to go out and get killed again, and then I don't have to worry about doing that. And I got to tell you, heaven forbid this company, they're not going to use me at all. After I'm looking at this research, I mean, I'm just not seeing how you're not tell the Papa John story and let them. What bothers me is Colonel Sanders called blacks and I'm like, I've never used that word. And they get away with it. Well, yeah, we use the word debacle. We get framed in the same genre. It's crazy. This whole thing's crazy. Thank you, man. All right, John. All right, I'll see you. Thanks, John. Okay.
By this point, the laundry service reps were officially pushed over the edge and abruptly ended the call. They spent an hour trying to coach him, only for him at the very end to basically say, "Why are we even doing this?" And then have the audacity to say that Colonel Sanders used to say the racial slur and that John never says it, even though he literally just said it. After the conference call ended, the recording did not, and you can hear the laundry service representatives debriefing where they express how frustrated they were and actually how they wanted him to now get exposed.
How big is fun? Really,
And a lot about him. They were very revealing.
yeah, I mean, that's already all been revealed to me.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go out and talk.
Yeah. Because he can't speak even the most, like, their full, like, just acknowledge the fact, like, we find some sympathy for the people why they're doing this protest, like, he wouldn't even pick up on that. Yeah.
But you can't just say that.
Did he actually say anything?
No.
I
missed that as well.
Literally just that he said Colonel Sanders said that.
He said he called him that word. He's fine. But all I did was say the bottle. And he has no problem saying that, but he can't say that he said anything wrong. Yep. It's crazy.
It's like, but the thing is he's all about, like, money, and to me, like, the players saying that they're still going to protest because they're saying this is a real issue. It's not about the money.
No one has said to him, "Dude, are you really not getting it? You are out of touch." Everyone, including us, are pandering a little bit to the man. No one is saying, "You are actually out of touch. You cannot say these things." I get your empathy now about that you find it horrible.
He knows.
Yeah. Okay. Then he doesn't give a shit. Okay.
I just wanted to go and speak the truth. And I wanted to write down the bullet points and then let him go. We just have to make sure it's an hour-long conversation.
Yeah.
So that he says here. He's going to come out. He can't control it.
I want the person interviewing him to know, even though he knows to not say those specific answers.
Yeah.
I want that to come out too. Like, I want him to come out, even though he's spiraling. Yeah, like, I want whatever we recorded to be like the actual interview.
I already spoke to Don Orwell, said he gets it. He said he'll only do it if he can ask all the hard questions and really talk about all the hard issues, and he'll do it for an hour on Twitter Live, and he'll let people ask questions.
As you can tell, the PR firm was fed up. They straight up felt that John was wrong, that he could not accept it, and that he was a racist. And now actually, instead of helping him, they planned on setting up interviews where he would be asked really tough questions, hoping he would speak exactly like he did on the private phone call to expose himself to the world that he is a racist. But they actually just sped up the process. They didn't schedule any interviews and instead leaked the audio of him saying the N-word to the press out of resentment. And John tried as hard as he could to express to the public that he wishes he didn't say the actual word, but rather the phrase that represents the slur.
The context was used as a contrast. I never used the word. This guy uses the word, I never used that word. It was to make a point.
Do you think that it's possible to not have racist intent but still have racist impact?
I think if you use a racial slur, you have ill intent. I think if you cite the word as an example, don't use that word, I don't think that's ill intent. I think that is anti-racist, absolutely.
Would you agree that the N-word, the real word, is arguably the weightiest word in the English language? And I'm wondering if you felt that only in the aftermath, or if at the time when you said it, you knew the power of actually stating the N-word, because if you had just said the N-word, we probably wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
Right. I think the reason I was using it in the context and the reference I was is because I despise the word. Don't use that word. I never use the word. If I had over it again, would I not use the word? Absolutely.
Do you think that you exercised good leadership by using the actual word?
If I had it over again, I would use the N word instead of saying Colonel Sanders actually calls black people the word. I definitely would use the N word.
So was this all a setup? Well, there is nuance to consider. Yes, the media expose seems to have been set up by the laundry service PR firm and Forbes. However, John was not pressured or manipulated into saying anything racist. That was his own volition. He expressed his true feelings about the NFL protests ad nauseum, and he chose to just randomly say a racial slur, unprovoked, and pass it off as criticism of a dead guy. But John Schnatter relentlessly pursued a lawsuit against laundry service, and after battling for over 4 years, laundry service tried to get the case dismissed, but the judges kept ruling in John's favor. Laundry service leaked a partial, deceptively edited excerpt from a private coaching session to Forbes, intentionally distorting comments Schnatter made against racism and reversing their meaning to harm the Papa John's founder and the iconic brand he built over 34 years. Laundry service subsequently provided a doctored tape of the conference call to Papa John's International with several crucial minutes deleted. The case was ultimately settled out of court in John's favor. So yes, John was set up in regards to how this information got to the public. Yes, he is a terrible communicator, but whether or not he is actually racist is up for you to decide. And even 6 years after he has been removed from any and all operations from the company, sold off a lot of his stock, he's still doing podcasts and interviews today, being extremely critical of the Papa John's brand, claiming that the quality of the Papa John's pizza has gone significantly downhill since he left the company.
Going from a hand-tossed dough to where they now do it with a machine, so they actually like a patty, place it down, and so you lose that authentic, really where the dough kind of rises. But this still wouldn't be an 8 pizza. This would be probably a 7 pizza, maybe
7 out of 10. You're saying
7 out of 10. If it's not an 8, you're not supposed to serve it. This product wouldn't be an 8 either, but at least it's got toppings on it. But again, see, there's not toppings out to the edge. But if I'd have been CEO and these would have come, this would have been a huge disappointment. These would have been sub-7 pizzas. Today, they're probably, what I've seen of Papa John's the last 16 months, these are actually some of the better ones I've seen. But again, you're not going to be able to differentiate between a Pizza Hut and a Papa John's. But let's see what the other 2 players come in. That's another thing I think they've done. I think they've definitely changed the crust, but it doesn't taste the same. I don't know if they changed the sauce, but something with the product doesn't taste.
The one from Papa John's
doesn't taste like the original pizza. They've changed the recipe. They've done something. I don't know exactly what they've done. I know they changed the dough recipe so they could make it softer to spin it out with the machine, but that doesn't taste like our sauce. So I don't know if they went to a paste sauce or if they put something else in there, but it does not taste like the original recipe, in my opinion.
John's continuous attempts to clear his name seem less about genuine growth and more about personal vindication, driven by a bruised ego and inability to accept responsibility for his own actions. Then again, it's easy to see why he would be resentful when the business he dedicated 35 years of his life building got destroyed by a calculated setup from people he hired to protect him.
so-called Crypto King is now facing life in prison for this elaborate scheme, which involves allegedly kidnapping a wealthy businessman and holding him hostage for his crypto wallet. So, this is John Waltz, who many people refer to as the Crypto King. He rented out a $40,000 a month townhouse in Manhattan, lived like a king, and allegedly ended up torturing a 28-year-old businessman and crypto investor for 17 days straight. The dude was allegedly beaten, forced to take illicit substances by two men who were trying to steal his Bitcoin seed phrase.
Arrested barefoot and in a robe, crypto entrepreneur John Waltz expected to appear in court today, accused of kidnapping a man to steal his Bitcoin password. But Waltz waiving his appearance at the last minute, his lawyer taking no questions.
I have no comment about the case.
Dubbed the Crypto King of Kentucky, Waltz now facing charges of kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment.
Okay, so let's break down the key characters of this case. You have John Waltz and William Duplessis and their alleged victim, Michael Valentino Teofastro Carteron. In early May of this year, Italian businessman Michael Carteron, he flew into New York from Italy after he had allegedly been lured by threats to his family. What he didn't realize was that he was walking into what prosecutors described as a torture chamber. Off the bat, I mean, this is just insane. We usually cover more lighthearted stories on the channel, but this is just straight up disgusting. They literally pulled the fly here now or we'll come for your family that you normally see in thriller movies, but in real life. Carteron, he was held captive in a luxury 17-room Soho townhouse rented by John Waltz. And apparently John Waltz is known within the crypto community as the Crypto King of Kentucky. So for 17 days, Carteron says that he was beaten, shocked, burned, and even forced to smoke various substances. And that is putting it extremely lightly. This was not your average crime scene, according to police reports. One scenario described it as the following. Waltz allegedly carried the victim to the top of the stairs, hung him over the banister, and threatened to end his life if he did not provide his Bitcoin password. What a wonderful vacation to America this was for this Italian man. Man, I feel bad for him. I mean, this is just vile. Keep in mind, while their endgame goal might have been acquiring passwords, it doesn't seem like they planned on leaving him there unscathed, whether that's mentally or physically. It's just super dark stuff over some Bitcoin. And as you can guess, they didn't stop there.
Prosecutors revealing new details about what they say went on in that multi-million-dollar Soho townhouse. Court documents say a 28-year-old man was allegedly there for more than 2 weeks, lured from Italy under threats that his family would be. According to court documents, the victim, possibly a former business partner, was threatened, stripped of his passport and devices, then beaten, shocked with a saw, forced to smoke, even dangled over a staircase, told to give up his Bitcoin password or be.
I mean, this is just absolutely insane. And the victim allegedly had about $28 million in the wallet that they were trying to get into. So I guess they lured him in with threats to his family, and while staying in a multi-million-dollar home, they torture him for the information. And bear in mind, this guy was known as the Crypto King of Kentucky, meaning the crime is being committed by a dude who, at least online, portrayed himself as a wealthy person. As we do know with BitBoy Crypto, though, that can end pretty quickly. Yeah, I'll be making a video on that shortly. And honestly, I can't even say too many of the details of what actually happened in this house because YouTube would wipe this video from the face of Earth. But what I can say is it involved a fire, a chainsaw, and much more. And if all of these allegations are true, I mean, these guys should not be in prison, they should be under the prison. You're probably wondering, how did he survive the situation? Well, according to prosecutors, Carteron finally convinced his captors that his Bitcoin password was actually on his laptop. So when Waltz went to get it, Carteron made a run for it. He bolted out the front door and flagged down a traffic officer.
In stunning surveillance footage obtained exclusively by WNBC, that 28-year-old man from Italy seen running barefoot and bloody to a traffic cop, pleading for help.
Inside the townhouse, police found a saw, illicit substances, chicken wire, t-shirts with pictures of the victim with a pipe in their mouth, body armor, night vision goggles, ballistic helmets, a firearm, Polaroid pictures of the victim with this firearm pointed to his head, and ammunition. I mean, as I'm listing up the list just kept getting worse. Every item here just sounds crazy, except night vision sounds pretty sick, to be honest. Like, come on, like, why would they need night vision?
Once the victim escaped, and once NYPD got involved, they obviously did a search of this luxury location and found all sorts of incriminating evidence, photographs, weapons,
But Woltz and Duplessis, they were arrested shortly after, and they pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping, assault, and unlawful imprisonment. And both at the time were being held without bail. I mean, I'm honestly really curious how their lawyers plan to go about this not guilty plea, because half the evidence that we've seen isn't going to sit well with a jury. It is a common misconception that crypto cannot be traced, but if any of that money was withdrawn from the victim's crypto wallet, that money most likely would have been traced and linked back to them. Their first pretrial appearance was on June 11th, where they pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment, coercion, and criminal possession of a firearm. Their next appearance was on July 15th, where they appeared before a judge for less than 10 minutes before the trial was postponed, awaiting additional evidence. But our most recent update, being July 23rd, both Woltz and Williams were granted a $1 million bail package. These next clips come from the ex-user Lauren Conlon, who has gone to every court hearing and has stayed up to date with the whole situation. Apparently, the judge had this to say.
The judge made sure to say that they will not accept crypto or Bitcoin as part of the bail payment.
They must also wear electronic ankle monitors, surrender passports, and go through a security inspection every 72 hours. So, naturally, considering their not-so-guilty plea, their lawyers are trying to say this case isn't what it seems. Defense attorney Sam Tolkien, who represents Duplessis, said in court, the story that he is selling just doesn't make sense. The defense also says there's video of Carteron having a time of his life during the alleged captivity, alongside a video showing him at stores, church, clubs, and dinners. They even say there's footage of him at an eyeglass store showing him calmly smoking a cigarette on the street just before his escape. However, none of this footage is available for the public as of now. But so far, prosecutors are not buying it. Sarah Kahn said victims of abuse are not always going to act in a way that we expect people to do.
The prosecution is saying, no, that's not accurate. The victim here, there are text messages between John Woltz and his assistant, where his assistant's like, hey, can I take him here? Can I take him there? And asking permission for the victim to be able to go outside and things like that.
And here's the thing. For Carteron to have managed to escape the way he did, he would have had to convince his kidnappers to walk into the other room. Honestly, I'm surprised if he was held there for that long that he managed to escape that easily.
And the prosecution also said that John Woltz ordered the victim to be in a cage, and she said they found cattle prods and, like dog collars and obviously chainsaws. A lot of that has been reported, but the judge, Judge Caro, at one point, he said, wait a minute, you're not saying, and he said this to the prosecution, he said, you're not saying that the victim was cut with a running chainsaw, were you? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm saying that. And he's like, wait, didn't you show me a picture of that? And she's like, yes, I did. And he actually goes, well, that didn't even look like it broke the skin. And the prosecutor was like, well, they burned it to make the wound, to cauterize the wound. So it seemed like Judge Caro wasn't buying everything that the prosecution was saying.
But it just seems like everything is very back and forth with this case, from the use of the chainsaw to the overall kidnapping itself. So you've got one side saying he was kidnapped and he had to escape. Then you have the other side saying, yeah, but look, here's footage of him running to the officer covered in blood. And that makes matters even more confusing.
The feds searched John Woltz's house in Kentucky and essentially found a manifesto of some sort where it said that, they told people, or they were telling people they were government agents, and they were kind of obsessed with intelligence, and they wanted to take they were planning to take all of the crypto and the Bitcoin away from evil people that wanted to use it for terrorism. So they were targeting evil people or something like that, and it was all written in this manifesto.
So now, another part of their crypto kidnapping scheme was to essentially tell people that they worked for the government, and that they're doing this for the greater good? Like, what is the story? It just doesn't make sense.
The prosecutor said that if they told the victim if he didn't cooperate with them, that he would be a terrorist. And, there were text messages about this fantastical plan to steal all of his money. And they found different documents when they searched the place. And the documents were basically wanting the victim to fill out his Bitcoin and crypto information, and a document that said he was violating the Patriot Act. Really wild stuff.
I mean, these guys are taking their roleplay to a whole new level, it seems. Not to make light of the situation, but I just can't picture dudes running after the guy with a chainsaw, trying to force him to sign a legal paper. Like they're LARPing Jason from Friday the 13th or something like that. The whole situation is just crazy. And then on top of that, there's this government LARP involved as well.
going back to some of the text messages, he's like, Your Honor, all the text messages between John Waltz and his assistant and William Duplessis about the victim, he's like, it's a joke. They even refer to him as Hog, this nickname they gave him because of his you-know-what size. So these text messages are totally taken out of context.
Okay, that kind of seems like a typical response we see here on this channel a lot. Oh, that was taken out of context. Like, guys, you have a whole arsenal of torturing and kidnapping tools all within your apartment, and obviously the victim who ran out covered in blood. The situation does not look like a out of context moment.
They also brought up the February alleged kidnapping involving John Waltz, just to add to their case. And yeah, the judge was not convinced. So, they will be out on bail as soon as they can get it all together.
So the incident referenced here took place a few months prior in February. A Holiday Inn employee contacted Kentucky police after being approached by a distressed hotel guest. The woman, who primarily spoke German, showed the employee text messages from her son claiming that he was being held by armed individuals. Using an online translator, the employees interpreted one of the messages saying, "They don't want to let me go. Bitcoin. Need help. They are armed to the brim." The woman explained this was only her second time in the US, and that her son, who lives in Switzerland, was staying with friends named John and Kayla at a house in Birdsville Road and nearby Smithland. While she didn't specify who was holding him for ransom, the information was relayed to local authorities. A Patica dispatcher noted that Livingston County was already familiar with both the address and the individuals involved. Following the report, a Patica officer confirmed that the name, John Waltz, was being associated with that location. So we have multiple victims, text message evidence, physical evidence, and a history of a similar situation. Apparently this has all been shown to a judge, but he's not fully buying it yet. Interesting. But I guess you never know, and obviously the public has less information than the judge. So we kind of just have to wait and see what happens. Because, I mean, we've seen so many cases where the situation has done a complete 180. So honestly, I don't know if there's footage of him during those 17 days of torture out in public acting fine like nothing ever happened. So who knows? Maybe these guys have just completely miscued what hanging out with friends looks like. But alongside that, according to a family member, John Waltz isn't the villain. He's the victim. So the man accused of holding another guy hostage in his luxury Soho townhouse for over 2 weeks, torturing him with a chainsaw and forcing to smoke substances, all of this alleged, by the way, that guy, apparently he's controlled to do so by other people. This unnamed relative told the New York Post that John is the kind, caring, and loving person. So I guess being allegedly controlled into allegedly kidnapping someone seems out of character for the crypto king here. The family member even claimed that Waltz was hijacked, manipulated, and scammed, and that someone stole his money as well. So according to them, the $100 million crypto boss is just a very rich puppet who somehow ended up ankle deep in one of the wildest crypto cases New York has ever seen. And if you're not already aware, this isn't just some one-off case, with crypto becoming so popular over the last decade to the point where literally everyone has heard of it. There's been this visual switch where crypto hacks used to basically always happen online, but now it's moving into the real world where people are showing up and literally taking them at gunpoint. Because now you have this extremely disturbing trend called crypto kidnappings, where criminals are ditching online methods and taking things into the real world.
Crypto seems like the newfangled target for old-fashioned crime. Many people are turning to cryptocurrency. That's where the money is. That's where the criminals would go.
Apparently in May alone, 26 people were charged in France for attempting to kidnap the daughter and grandson of a crypto CEO. In another case, French kidnappers cut off the finger of Ledger co-founder David Ballin and sent a video to his company. He and his wife were eventually rescued. There have also been kidnappings in Belgium, Canada, and Australia, forcing crypto executives to cough up over $1 million in crypto at gunpoint. But why is this happening now? Sadly, it's pretty simple. Crypto is extremely portable and pseudo-anonymous, because all attackers need to gain access to someone's cryptocurrency is the account password or seed phrase, and with a few clicks, money can be easily moved from one account to the kidnapper's account. So now people don't have to break into a bank vault or an armored truck to get away with a heist. They just need some seed phrases. But with that, what now? Well, Waltz and Duplessis are back in court on October 15th, and I'm assuming this gives them time to find potentially more victims and more evidence that will lead to a conviction. They're both facing up to 25 years to life in prison if convicted, A third person, Beatrice Fulci, who is actually John's assistant, she was also arrested and was initially charged with first-degree kidnapping and first-degree unlawful imprisonment. However, she has been released and they have chosen to not proceed with prosecuting her at this stage. So who knows, she might be a little bit more innocent here. Imagine if she was just hired off Craigslist to be some crypto assistant and she walks into this townhouse and she realizes, oh, this looks more like a Saw dungeon. Crazy. Well, I guess now I'm here, but who knows? Beatrice at least found herself right in the middle of this mess, and whether she was actually involved or just tagging along in the worst internship of her life, that's unclear as of right now. But the crypto community is getting rather paranoid, and rightfully so. Some companies are already working on kidnap and ransom insurance policies for crypto investors. In other words, if you're flaunting a hardware wallet and flexing on Instagram, you might want to rethink your security strategy as well as your life decisions. Honestly, this is not the place I thought we would get to with crypto, but because we're not just talking about cybercrime anymore, we're talking about real life torture to gain digital money. I'm not really that surprised. The fly's back. Dude, and he's freaking gone. So hey, if you have stashed away millions of dollars in crypto, stay safe out there. But other than that, this story of Akon receiving $6 billion in government contracts to build a city, and he built a half-finished house, is a pretty crazy story on how that happened. But he still thinks the project is still ongoing, and apparently people are just making a smear campaign over him, and that his city, it'll be built one day. So you should watch that video, but subscribe if you're new, drop a like on this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
So sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Turn that fear into a souvenir. The world is waiting and the hour's near. So if you need a reason, and if you need a sign, open up your eyes, you'll see they stole your water, turned it into wine. Sit back, relax, begin. silence the wise. So sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Turn that fear into a souvenir. The world is waiting and the hour's near. So if you need a reason, and if you need a sign, open up your eyes, you'll see they stole your water, turned it into wine. Sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Yeah, they say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Walk right in, all you sinners and saints. Tonight's the night we're gonna take off these chains. Some rules will never mend. It came with a warning, now we're all out of time. This romance with ignorance has left us behind. Sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. It's no mystery, what can I say? We're blind by design. And history keeps getting paid to change its mind. Some rules will never mend. Divided by deception, but together we must rise. Deafened by the naive while we silence the wise. So sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Turn that fear the wise, so sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. Turn that fear into a souvenir. The world is waiting and the hour's near. So if you need a reason, if you need a sign, open up your eyes, you'll see they stole your water, turned it into wine.
Toast is one shot. Well, let's kill him. You will do the heavy on maybe follow up. Ooh, there's the bleed. I love it. It takes a little bit because the blood loss isn't very high on this, but if you pressure enough, you can get it. Well, hello there, Phantom. RJ, what's up, dude? We're in the Mohogwyn Palace. Pretty fitting for my weapon. I'm something of a bleed build myself. Hold up, let me buff my little zombies here. Are we both beast builds? Hey there, I'm bleed. Oh, what the? I guess it interrupted my bleed ash and I didn't notice. Reduvia must have stunned me. Hey guys, coming in hot. Oh. L2. We're L2ing with the best of them. This guy loves his attack, honestly. Hey, a blue. Wah! How much FP do you think the guy with the Reduvia has? I'm gonna guess all the FP. It's gonna be his whole build. Hey, sorry, sir. My R1s go kind of hard. Maybe not as hard as your L2s. Sir. Okay. Let's all calm down here for a second, okay? Oh, you know what? You're a bleed build, my friend. I can respect it. But you're dead. Also, cosplay. I didn't notice until right now. Hey man, how's it going? Booty? I would like some of that fine booty, sir. Oh, yeah, the heavy attack does guard break pretty well. Fun fight, Mr. Crucible Knight. This sword is just so anime. Really enjoyable. The Wyndham Catacombs, huh? I've had a few interesting invasions in here. Nice, I found them. When they go through that doorway, I'm gonna surprise them with the ash. Let's go, guys, hello! Ambush! Is there fire behind me? I hear fire. Running attack! Use the trap here. To stun the one with the rivers of blood behind me. Oh, we have a build. Interesting. A cosplay build is what I mean. They, of course, have a build. This one's for you, boys. Ash of War. That's right. I'm holding this choke point. You can't escape it. Otherwise, you get to run away, and I don't like that. No, you get to run. Not good. No. But that's the host, though. I don't want him dead. Oh, you did. Perfect. Blasphemous Billy, you don't die first, unfortunately. He was way more aggressive. We eat the crab here, although that is a casting build, so it doesn't make much sense to do that. Coming in hot. That's right, my Ash of War has a ton of range and speed. Okay, the Billy Wave I'd like to punish. We go for the host now, though. Billy, you weren't here to protect your host. I actually need to hold that a little longer. Hey, he's doing the heavy attack. I like it, hosty. Ooh, that's not good. Most aggressive build? Yes, indeed. It never stops attacking. I got the bleed proc right there. Perfect. Alright, so just me and you. Let's go. Oh, you know what? Sometimes you can actually duck under this attack. Oh. The Ash is so good, though, honestly. Good for roll catching, good for chase downs. You can kind of blender yourself with it if they get stunned by the flames afterwards. Very good. The classic poison swamp with Frumpter Dank. I'm gonna eat some crab here. What do we have going on? Acadia, and looks like kind of poison claw build, which is interesting. You guys are prepared for the hosting and the poison, aren't you? Blood flame blade, but also a casting build, huh? That's also interesting. You don't see that much at all. Those flies, though, I see those flies all the time. You thought I wasn't paying attention to you, huh? I'm dodging the bleed. Oh, you're not. I actually did dodge the bleed. Perfect. Boop, boop. Now we have the beautiful Great Katana. One of my favorite weapons, honestly. Just so nice. Trade. Ooh, I would have got that, but the range wasn't there. Prompter, what are we doing? Ooh, jump attack. You gotta watch out for my ash. It covers a lot of ground. Oh, you keep not getting hit by the blood flame part, and it's kind of sad. Ooh. Ooh. I know he wants to poke. Oh, he really wanted to heal, huh? Oh, you have blues on. Interesting. I'll drink some FP then, just because the blue is here. Not the flies. Nobody enjoys the flies. Actually, really, hosts do. They love the flies, man. It's their favorite. R2. R1. He needs to heal now. Oh, I almost got him in the toe. Keep the pressure up. I know he wants to attack soon. My stamina is not looking the hottest. Oh. Fun fight, man. He was good at getting away to heal. I'll give him that. Silver Cloud. Making note of host's name. I'm coming, boys. I see a phantom over there with what looks like a katana. And the host getting hit by zombies. Hey, host. Oh. Wait. Oh, I was really hoping I hit him midair or something. That'd be so cool. Oh, the delayed scream kills me. Silver Cloud running directly into an enemy, I think, over there. Indeed. Didn't want anything to do with me. Understandable. The mountaintop catacombs, but luckily the host is right here. Hello there, Ari. How's it going? You must have a friend, correct? Oh, and you fell down the hole. I shall join you, don't worry. Hello. Whoa, wizard ambush and the moon veil and everything. The rare counterattack running by. Didn't think that the guy with the colossal would be just swinging in my face, but that's my own bad. I should have thought that. Parkour jump. I don't want to. No. Why did the phantom fall for that? Wizard, no. You don't deserve survival. Oh, you don't get survival. Oh, I suppose you do. Why did your host have 500 HP? And why did you allow them to do so? Silver Cloud. Hey, man. I actually invaded you earlier. Hey, look, it's Radon. What's up, Radon? Bonk. How's the roll catch timing on this? Honestly, not the best. It almost worked out for me, though. Explosion. Oh, I wanted that backstab so bad. I still got it. What's going on behind me? Fire. Whoa. Hey, you know what? Protecting your friend. Honestly, good of you, Silver. I'm going to do this in his general direction. Just because it has the fire after it. Can you go for the backstab on him? Kind of funny. Friend down, Silver. I'm coming. I like that you're walking away from me, but doing it locked on. That's interesting. Are there more swings coming my way? You know, they do react dodge. I like that. They're calm. Ah, I can jump over that. Sorry. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. What are we doing here? Trying to backstab me? I want him to do it so I can counter fish. Silver comes. So sorry. Got hit from behind. Oh, hey, Blue. Whoa. I didn't even see that guy get spawned. What the? I don't think I got a message. Or I just didn't see it. That's peculiar. Did they just send it down? This is worrisome. Oh, there's a phantom. Hello there, sir. Where is your host? he in there without you? Or are you the host? He's using the phantom ring. I don't know. Ooh, well, phantom dead. Oh, nope, that was the host. What the? That's so funny. He was wearing the phantom ring. Well, would you look at this? Hello there, guys. Perfect. Opening the gate for me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good thing I dodged that, by the way. I was thinking it wouldn't reach me. How wrong I would have been. Coming in hot. Ooh, the poise of a colossal, sir. That is some strong amount of bravery right there. Just took a whole bunch of damage, didn't care, and used the swing. That's an attack. Moon the wall, wizard. Hey, wizard. Should I have some fun with this wizard? I'm feeling like I should. I want to parry and absorb all the attacks. But side note, the enemies might win this fight for me. Oh, I should have buffed him before he went in. Wait. There's actually a knight down here. Hold up. We can do it. You and I, Mr. Knight. Go get him. Bam! Okay. Wizard not doing bad. You tried to secretly hit me with that, wizard. I seen you. You think you're sneaky? My champion. He's taking damage. Wait, I don't have an AoE heal to throw on him. Did the wizard just roll off a cliff? Wizard. Oh, the knight will chase you? Damn. He's after the wizard so hardcore. This is crazy. Bonk. Oh, somehow that hit didn't hit him. Oh, our champion goes down, dude. I'm gonna do the parry special, okay? Hold up. Parry special. I'm only allowed to parry. First try. That's like my lost cosplay. Fun fight, wizard. Nice, some castle ensis, but they took out my favorite NPC already. I hear the dishonest sounds of dragon breath. And it's the Placidus Axe. Well, hello there. Mom Shard, what am I watching? Dragon down. Oh, unfortunately the dragon was the host. Well, that one's my bad entirely. Well, that wraps up all the battles that I have for you guys for today using the Morgoth's Curse Sword. I hope you guys enjoyed the invasions. I really enjoy this weapon, definitely one of my favorite curved great swords. You also get to run it on a Dex Arcane build. Now, I didn't really use any weapon variety in this video, but there are some really fun weapons on Dex Arcane builds. Once again, there's my stats on the right, the armor that I... Yo, what's up guys? Chase the Bro here, and welcome back to another Elden Ring DLC build video. What's up guys? Chase the Bro here, and welcome back to another Elden Ring DLC build video. Today I am a dragon, but not just any dragon. We're gonna be a madness dragon. I realized when using my last dragon build that these stats kind of line up perfectly to also incorporate madness incantations. Since I always tend to use my madness incantations on my arcane build, and the dragon incantations have a faith requirement, they kind of pair perfectly. This allows you to have some really good setup combos. I love using Grail's Roar into Unendurable Frenzy. If they're in a small area, it doesn't really give them much time to escape this, and it can easily one-shot them together. You of course have the classics of the dragon build as well. I love the Smaragd's Glintstone Breath. This does a ton of damage if both parts of the cast connect. Inescapable Frenzies are a really good option if they're just chasing you down blindly. Use Endure to poise through it and grab them with the attack. And then you of course have the Madness classics, the Flame of Frenzy, which can be charged or uncharged depending on how much time you have to cast it. It does do a ton of damage though if you get the fully charged version off when they're rushing you down. For really long range, we have the Frenzied Burst. Again, you can charge or uncharge this. It does come up pretty quick if you don't charge it, so it's a good long range chip when they're not expecting it. When it comes to the downsides of a dragon build though, as I've used them quite a bit, you don't really have much defense, so I definitely recommend using your crab as much as you can because you're going to take a lot of damage. Also, you have no poise, so every attack stuns you. When it comes to the stats, they're a little weird. We have the 31 faith because it's the minimum faith needed to cast all the incantations I plan to use. I have the 40 dex to hit the max cast speed paired with the Radigan icon. I have a ton of arcane because that's what our incantations are going to be scaling off of, and then I kind of have my usual health, mind, and endurance pool with my casting builds. The casting tool of choice is going to be the Dragon Communion Seal because it does scale off the Arcane and it does have some faith scaling. In the offhand, depending on if you're using a Madness incantation or a Dragon incantation, you're going to swap that accordingly. The talismans are pretty standard for a pure casting build like this, both the Faithfuls and Phlox Canvas Talisman to increase the damage of the incantations, Radigan Icon, like I said, to maximize your cast speed, and I do have the Roar Medallion because it does enhance your Roar and Breath attacks, which do include the Dragon Breaths. There are some items that are pretty good for the build as well. You of course have the Rock Heart item to activate to increase your Dragon incantations. The Uplifting Aromatic on this build also goes a long way because you are squishy, so getting a free hit to tank is kind of nice. I also have the Opaline Hardtear in my Physic, which does buff my defense up to 23 naturally, and then you can stack that with the Boiled Crab. And then you kind of have some semblance of defense, pretty similar to my usual build without all those defense stacking items. That really covers everything there is to say about the build. I just felt like combining the Dragon incantations and the Madness incantations. I feel like they're going to have some good combos. I hope you guys enjoy the invasions. The Brace of the Halig Tree, huh? Hello there, guys. Project, what's up? Mind if I just jump in here? I like that you can just stop yourself midway. Really cool. Wait, did I just kill somebody? I'll take the free FP if so. Ooh, and there's a Phantom behind me. Wonder if he knows that I see him. Hey Phantom, what's up? Oh, you want to go towards the... Oh boy, actually that's scary. I have no poise, so being in here a little bit on the scary side. Oh, he didn't follow me. Let's just stay full health just in case. I don't think they're gonna aggress me though, just based on like how they're reacting right now. Hey guys, I'll come out here. Dragon Breath. Oh, can I aim it down? Oh, he's like directly under me, so it wasn't hitting. I guess. Sometimes the hitbox is a little bit odd. He does the follow up maybe? Oh, he does. Oh, I do want to go for the Phantom first. Hey Phantom, you're kind of one-shottable, I think, like this, which is good. That tornado is scary though. I really need to be aware of that. Hey there, Phantom. Think you can run out of this? Not in time. And I also hit the host by accident. Beautiful. Oh, I need that blue juice back. Thank you. I accept it. I should honestly throw Catch Flame on my dragon build, just for when people kind of run away from me. You're running to a dead end, which I hope you go to, man. I really do. It'd be great. Hey there. Oh, yeah, swing your heart out here. Let's go. Dragon Bite. Nom. Oh, he blocked it. Crazy. Follow up. I'm trying to push him towards this dead end here. I do have a pot. You're kind of in my playground now. Into roar. You didn't fall in the elevator though. I'm greatly saddened by this. The Bellarat Jail. Hello there, sir. How's it going? Oh, we got a team of what, 2? Hey, keep that away from me, boys. Oh, I should have used Endure there. That's my bad entirely. And I don't have it at the ready. Oh, this is going to be bad. Not if I dodge by you. Ha ha. Take my Screech of Terror. You think they'll know to go not through the wall? Nope. You went through the wall still. Hey there. This is for you. Oh, it's actually not because you're smart enough to attack into the little dragon that has no poise. Good call, sir. Good call. Hey, guys. Honestly, this is a smart spot to do that. That's really funny. Wizard attack, huh? You know there's a pot enemy in here? Do you guys realize this? I wonder if you do. Haha! Dragon breath right below me! I'm a devious dragon! Oh, that's great. Yeah, honestly, jumping off objects, amazing with the dragon breath. The Royal Capital, huh? Hello there, Argus. How's it going, man? This one's for you. I'm a dragon. You probably wasn't expecting madness. He was dodging that for a while there, honestly. He did good. What I find really funny is he left his host to fight the boss alone. What was he even doing up there? I just heard him. He's somewhere in here. And you know what? I feel like I can just find him by doing this. Indeed I can. Hey man, how's it going? Whoa, keep that moon veil to yourself, my friend. The boss is gonna hurt us. You more than me. Goodbye, host. That was funny. Oh, blue. Late as usual. The specimen storehouse, and I see you guys up there. Honestly, this would be a really nice area as a dragon. Unfortunately, they're quite ahead of me. I could maybe throw a good pot. Whoa. Well, I hit one. Thinking about it though, I could just step on the elevator. Boom, and then I'm on the level they are. Yes. Hello there, guys. How's it going? Listen, you guys are rushing me, but run away from me if you'd like to live. I'm gonna free aim that more because rolling to the left actually lets them escape me. Oh god. Excuse me. I'm but a wee dragon. Avoiding danger here. Heal. Excuse me. Separated you guys. Oh god. Unfortunate though. He's using that. There you go, sir. Oh, you still have more in you? Damn. Okay, we're getting close to being a full trade here. Sir, you still do that even when you're low HP? You're crazy. Free aim it. You took too long to get here, buddy. I'm sorry. The dagger play is very good though against the dragon. I have no poise, so you just blender me. Crumbling Ferrum Azula. Hello there, guys. How's it going? Shall we go for the classic knockdown combo for both of you guys? Oh, I didn't want to do that again. I meant to hit up on the D-pad, but I guess I'm screaming twice. No big deal. All right, guys. Oh, hey, it's just like Millennia. I'm going to roll by it. And then I'm going to madness you. As I get Scarlet Rotted, it's fine. Oh, we have a fellow dragon. Oh, also blue. Hey, blue. What an entrance, by the way. Damn. Throwing rocks at me is rude, dude. Oh, which one hit me there? Oh, okay. Big hitboxes right here. This is good timing for the full heal. I can throw my Scarlet Rod as well. You know, maybe we go double Dragon Breath here. I have an idea. Oh, I have a beautiful idea, actually. Oh, why couldn't I do the dragon? Oh, I wasn't on the Dragon Breath. I'm so silly, man. That's my bad. I was hovering over my madness spell. Screech! Oh, there goes the host. I honestly didn't want to kill the host. That's my bad. But they were just running at me blindly, man. I feel like people do that a lot to dragon builds. It's effective, though. I don't really have poise. Crumbling Ferrum Azula with Lil Demon. Hey guys, how's it going? Well, that's a big bonk stick you got there. What if I were to madness? Oh, well, the big bonk stick stopped the madness, that's for sure. He's got a lot of range on that. You know, I wonder if I can like screech him off the cliff here. Nope. But I can kill him with it, I suppose. Now, friend, what would you say to me sniping you for fun? Oh, that does good damage, actually. Kind of wanted to take out the Banished Knight, though. Some things that would be fun to do to him. Can I buff up the Banished Knight? Hey, man. What's up? Heal up. I want you to be my damage test, okay? Whoa! Dishonest! Jumping my attack? No one said you could be wise. Okay. You know, I feel like that deserves more damage, but that's just me, I suppose. Okay. The one problem with full casting is if they do have a big bonk stick, they can just kind of tank through by attacking, but when you have this going, not really. Yeah, unendurable frenzy is rough. Oh my god. It's Radon, but not really Radon. Hey man, this might be for you. Maybe both of you guys. I still have my iframes. You know, kinda happy that didn't kill the host. Hosts like to just run at my face no matter what build I have. Thinking about it though, this is a pretty ideal spot to be a dragon. Hey Radon, taste my flame. Oh, into pot combo? Oh, nope. Hey, if the host jumps over here, maybe we scream. Into the hole with you! Perfect, dude. Now Dragon Breath for our friend Radon again. Although this might kill you, Radon. It does indeed. Unfortunate. Now, Hosty, I'm coming over there for you. But did you think I need to be close to you? I can also attack you from far. Alright, Host. How would you enjoy getting grabbed? What are you thinking? No? You don't want the hug from the dragon? This is sad. You can have one of the best hugs in the land. Uh-oh. This is bad for you. I'm the maddest dragon around, Mr. Hosty. Hey, what do we got going on over here? We have a colossal sword build. Hey, they're both colossal swords. What's up, guys? You know, it's kind of funny. I kind of belong in this area. I'm a mad dragon. Okay, he has magic defense, so we're not going to go with the dragon breath. They both kind of do. Hey, man. I guess we're going to focus madness here. Oh! He didn't go for the grab. Ooh, I haven't seen Roll Night Resolve in a while. Ugh. I'm kind of afraid of that being buffed up, but at the same time, we madness you? Ooh, jeez, man. Can I get them both? I probably could have if I would have stunned him right there. It's kind of crazy how long that lasts. I've invaded Kenpachi, who may or may not fogwall me at Millennia. Well, hello there, guys. You didn't fogwall me. How do I want to treat you then? Evil! Dragon breath! Dragon breath for all! I'm sorry, you guys were just standing in a tunnel. Very optimal. I've invaded the Devil Larry. Oh god. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh, you guys are ready, huh? Is that not working here? You're kind of teaching me something new. I don't know why that didn't work, man. It should have, I feel like. What are we doing now? Running? Oh? That was weird. He actually dodged my snipe. Oh, forget about the aftermath of that attack. Go for a jump attack again. I really want him to. Uncharged. Oh! Oh, I gotta land that. Now I have to land that. One of them will tank into it. Okay, we gotta avoid that guy's attack. He's gonna try to get me from behind. Grab! Oh! It was so close. I want it so bad now. I will make it happen. Grab! I did get the grab. That's pretty cool. Although dangerous. Hey man, just me and you now. Host! Why does no one know how to not roll off the elevator, man? Well, this is an interesting area. Hello there, guys. What's up? Pool party. I'm gonna scream in your general direction. And then I'm gonna walk at you in your general direction. No! Oh, he's immune. Dishonest. Dishonest fog wall. That's funny. Crumbling Ferrum Azula, and luckily they're at the beginning area, I think. I think it's always safe to just go down here and up the elevator in case they're atop the upper. Oh, what in the heck? Hey man, I've never seen a host down here. What's up? We go. That was weird. Scary. Very scary. Oh, I knocked him off mid-level. That's hilarious. If I keep the elevator up here, I don't think he can use it. Let's buff up a little bit more. What? What just happened? I was looking for the host. What? You guys are gonna have to help me out. I don't even know how he died. Well, that wraps up all the battles that are for you guys for today using the Madness Dragon. I hope you guys enjoyed the invasions. I honestly love both the Dragon and Madness incantations, and I don't really use them that often. I don't know why I haven't thought to pair them together either, because they have similar stat spreads in all of the builds I've used for them. They do have really good synergy though. They have a lot of big AoE attacks, things that pair well with Endure to do tons of damage, like the Unendurable Frenzy and the Dragon Breaths. I use that quite often to not get knocked out of the initial cast. You get a fun grab with the Inescapable Frenzy. Great get off me AoE with Grail's Roar when teams are just being aggressive on you. So overall, pretty solid kit. The only downside being the low defense and no poise in the Dragon build. A lot of things blender you. You get stunned out of anything if you're not using Endure, so you really have to spam that. Once again, there's my stats on the right, primarily Arcane for the damage, but we do have high faith in Dexterity. There is no armor, we are just the Dragon, and then the Talismans that I use throughout the invasions as well. As always, if you guys have any recommendations on any builds, weapons, or theme videos, feel free to comment them below. I do appreciate all the input that you guys give. Until the next video, this is goodbye. I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye.